Hey everybody, I'm your host Dale Brisby, the greatest bull rider ever to walk the earth. And here at Tulsa Welding School, we've got the top welder competition. We got 4 teams, and they're gonna battle it out today right here for the top welder. All 4 teams have to choose a consistent theme, and the first piece of art that they're gonna make is gonna be outdoor wall decor. You got 90 minutes. You got everything you need at your station. This is a timed event, so you gotta hustle, but it's gotta be clean and it's gotta be creative. So choose your theme, and let's get started. Everybody ready? On your mark, get set, go. I think these guys are from Tulsa. They are wasting no time.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking if we get the paint off first, off the bottom portion here.
That way we can mark it out.
We learned in season 3 last year, the clock matters. You gotta get started quick. That way you have time at the very end to do your finishing touches. Last year, they kind of took their time at the beginning, so at the end, you could tell that it was rushed. So I'm looking for them to have a little more polished projects this year.
We'll do this one first.
Yeah, I think we do the inside first.
We'll cut it here, then we'll work with that.
Each team is made up of an instructor from Tulsa Welding School and an influencer, somebody on the internet who makes content around the trade of welding. We got the Houston location. They seem to be the most laid back.
This lighthouse right here is gonna be our theme, I would think. Maybe throwing some rays, having the waves, maybe some clouds.
Jacksonville already has their tools turned on. They're grinding away some paint off of an old bottle, probably so they can either cut it or weld it.
Should we get the bottom or just do that after it's off?
Yeah, we'll probably do that after we cut it out.
This is season 4 here at Top Welder, and each year it seems like the projects get bigger and better, more creative. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Go ahead and put it long ways like so.
4x4, that's 4, so just go out 4
Another
feet.
4, and make a straight cut.
Oh, beautiful, like a surgeon.
We got Cody. Cody, what's your last name?
Bowman.
Cody Bowman and Jake Baylog. Jake Baylog. They're both from Miller. Miller is not only providing our judges, but they're also providing the grand prize, which is a Thunderbolt 200.
160, yep.
160, super nice machine. What are you guys looking for on this first project?
Part of the challenge of this competition is one, working within a team structure. So how well do they work together? How efficient are they? How good are their welds? And then how creative are they gonna be, right? This is a pretty open competition where they get to really use their creativity, and I think that's gonna be the biggest part.
Outdoor wall decor, what are you guys making?
So we're probably just gonna make some kind of a wall mount, picture frame type deal, maybe with the rays from the moon, some clouds, and the lighthouse.
Nice work.
Oh yeah. We're gonna check out Team RSI.
Stay off that, just give me that straight, about 4 inches of it.
Got a cow skull going. I can't believe how unique each project is. But like they've got like a sign. They're doing something with an old propane bottle. These guys are making a sculpture out of rebar. And I don't know what Tulsa is doing. What are you guys working on?
We are working on an aquatic theme.
An aquatic theme?
Yes, we have an ocean theme.
Ocean theme.
Yes, so we're working on some kelp right now. We're gonna make a frame, kelp, and some fish.
Wow, that sounds hard. I can't wait to see it.
We can't either.
They're working on kelp. We have seen people run out of time here. You should definitely take that into consideration, that time is a factor. That's where your training comes in. You may have good days whenever you're welding in class, but in the heat of battle, you're gonna drop to the level of your training. You're not gonna rise to the level of the occasion. So we get to see just how well these influencers can weld, how quick they can cut, how well they can think on their feet.
I'm gonna take the portaband and I'll start making some squares.
Just do them like
It's
this?
gonna take too long. Yeah, we're just overlapping like that.
You think it'll take too long?
Find a project you can finish and make it super polished. I would make something simple that I can knock out in 60 minutes, and then for 30 minutes, we clean it up, we polish it.
Doing a little sun action.
Sun?
Yeah, you know, like you see on the walls on outside of houses sometimes. You got a sun with some sun rays coming out.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah.
Where'd you find the?
We had tanks brought in yesterday, and we just cut the bottom off this one here.
Oh, so there are more propane bottles that teams could have used it.
Propane,
like,
Freon.
Refrigerant bottle.
Freon, hey, whoa, 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 hey.
Trying to keep both eyebrows.
That definitely seems like the most simple so far. The cow skull out of rebar might be simple. That might work pretty well, actually. Hard telling, not knowing.
Let's pick which side of this looks best. This side.
All right, let me tack it up.
What I'm just gonna do is tack the frame right now and see how that fits on.
Okay. Instead of us like trying to curve it with the plate, let's just make little straight
Rough cuts.
and then we'll grind it down to the shape.
We got Tim and Case over here at the Jacksonville location. If I had to make any predictions, these guys are definitely going to finish first. That's my prediction. And that might put them in the running for overall winner if time is a factor for these other teams. Got Mark and Ernesto here from the Houston location. They've already got the frame of their sign built out. This would have taken me the full 90 minutes. So, I'm a fan. Did you weld those there?
Yeah, I just tacked them down, make a cold bending break basically, or a cold bending post.
Here at Tulsa Welding School, everything's metal, so he just tacked on these bending posts. That way he doesn't have to get out the cutting torch for every little bend, which would require two people, one of them holding it and the other one bending. So that's gonna save him some time. It's an old veteran trick. I showed him that. Shannon, what are you doing?
Cleaning off the ends so we can weld. We're gonna build the frame, and then the kelp that he's cutting right now, we're gonna weld it on there.
It's a very similar frame to what Houston is making, and they're all already almost done with the frame. So they are definitely ahead of Garrett and Shannon. I think they're behind, I think they're behind, I think they're behind, and I think these guys are right on schedule. So each project is gonna get judged on 3 basic criteria, and each criteria you can be awarded up to 10 points, so 30 points per project. Creativity and originality, so that's where the theme will come into play. The overall presentation, and then lastly, technical. How good are the welds? How clean are the cuts?
You'll see there's no chop saws, there's no plasma cutters. Everything's done with a hand angle grinder, so all their cuts, and then everything else is flame cut. So when you're flame cutting stuff, it makes it hard to make the edges nice and clean. There's always slag. There's a lot of challenges to complete the project in the time limit because they're using tools that are hard to make the job easy.
Will you cut one with like a 30 degree that we can use as a template as we go around to set the angles the same?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna call it. Listen, I'm a veteran. I've been here at Tulsa Welding School for 4 seasons now. Jacksonville has already won the first project. And I'm gonna tell everybody why when it comes time. I could be wrong. I was wrong once, back in the late 90s when I dated that girl, Sarah. Shouldn't have done it. That's the only time I've been wrong. Garrett, how do you guys feel about time?
It feels like it's going by quicker than I thought it would.
Smooth cut. What do you think, Shannon? How you feel about the clock? You are aware it's a timed event, right?
Yes. Oh, the clock. I could not hear what you said.
The wire welder. All these welds should be so clean. They're moving fast, but I don't think it's fast enough. Mark and Ernesto working on their ocean-themed scenery. We are more than halfway through. I feel like they're behind, and we'll find out just how behind they are. Let's look at Jacksonville. It is taking them a long time to clean up those rays. Well, no, I mean, not too much time. What they're having to do is make decisions on where to sacrifice and cut corners, so to speak. They're running out of time, period. You don't know how long something takes you until you're in a competition with the clock going. This right here, I think, could have gone a little quicker. The Houston team that's building out the ocean theme, I don't think they're paying attention to the clock. You guys got 32 minutes left. How do you feel about the clock?
Pretty good. Little cleanup work. We're gonna put the center on and clean that up and then try to add some texture and a little bit of visual color with heat.
I've been here for 4 years. I think more of them should be asking me my opinion. My opinion is they should hurry up. They should definitely hurry up. Okay, these guys are coming along. This is going a little faster than I anticipated. If you did this right here, put one of them down. That's a rodeo bull right there, boy. We've got exactly 30 minutes left. And RSI, the Refrigeration School, just showed up and showed out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed at how quickly it came together. And it's a simple enough project that whenever they do cleanup, like right now they're just tacking, and so whenever they go in and actually weld everything, it shouldn't take that long. Jacksonville, RSI, that's who it's gonna be between, in my opinion. I've adjusted my prediction. We got Garrett still working on the seaweed, the kelp, whatever it is. He is having a hard time.
Take the cut in this, we're gonna cut this out, right? Or we just...
I'm thinking just put it on top.
Oh yeah.
Jacksonville is still trying to clean up the rays coming off this sun. What's scrap iron at right now? Is it 11 cents a pound? Last time I took something, it's been a while, it's like 11 cents a pound. This right here, this looks like 11 cents a pound to me. Sorry guys. Get to work. We got 22 minutes left. I want to see some welds.
I'm with you there.
Right?
I'm
It's
with
Tulsa
you there.
Welding School. The clock is running out. I want to see some not just tacked on. That would be important to me. Is it important to you? It's
Super important to
Jake.
see some beautiful long welds.
Seeing some progress out of Jacksonville. They're cleaning up that sun a little bit. 19 minutes left. This might come together and be an all right project right here. Finally, they're welding. 17 minutes left. It's the end result. So pretty much ignore my emotions because they've been a roller coaster. Because when that clock strikes zero, that's when it really matters. Houston's behind. Houston and Tulsa. But it's kind of like them Texas Aggies, old son, A&M. They don't ever lose. They just run out of time. Unfortunately, these football games, much like these competitions here, are timed events.
Can you heat that back up again?
It's okay, we'll fix it. We'll pop it like the way we did when this one.
I know, but that's a lot, dude.
Well, that seaweed whooped their buns. And now we're welding the old frame together. Oh, they're working on the fish. 15 minutes! I don't know, 15 minutes. I think they need to be welding. More welding, that's what I think. You learn it all here at Tulsa Welding School. You're gonna have to cut, you're gonna have to build, you're gonna have to plan, you're gonna have to do all those things. I just think at the very end, there should be a little strip of, you know, stacking some dimes.
Do this one.
What are y'all trying to do?
Just put like a little nice center ridge line on it.
Just a little texture and depth.
10 minutes, everybody! I'm gonna give them some points for creativity on this fish.
So if you can land them right in there, that would be great.
4 minutes, everybody. 4 minutes. Houston's gonna have trouble. Houston, we have a problem. Tulsa is finally coming together. I mean, it's gonna come down to the last. I think they still have something left to weld. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. They gotta do another cut. Every second counts. 1 minute. RSI, they're hugging. They've finished their project with 1 minute to spare. Houston ain't nowhere near it. Jacksonville, they're cleaning up.
Man, I'll just leave it like that.
30 seconds! Tulsa's scrambling. Jacksonville is cleaning up.
Where'd it go, where'd it go, where'd it
Here,
go?
here, go.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, shut your machines off. Time's up.
I think we got it.
Some people are clapping, some people are crying. All right, bring them over here. Let's look at everything. We got the judges ready. All right, our 90 minutes is up, and we're going to look at each project. First up, we've got Tulsa. I can kind of guess the theme, but first, tell us what you're going with for the day on the theme.
I'm going with an underwater thing.
Tell us what you guys are thinking and maybe some surprises that you had along the way.
Cutting sheet metal with the oxy-torch was a difficult change. Being used to plasma cutter and higher tech equipment and having to go back to the old school was a little rough.
At 75 minutes, you guys were still trying to cut the, is this seaweed?
Kelp.
Seaweed or kelp.
It came down to the very last 10 seconds.
The creativity of this, I think, is very high. There's multiple depths in this. I like the waves of the kelp.
The fish scales were what stuck out to me the most. I think if they would have had a little bit more time and weren't rushing at the end there, it didn't take them as long to flame cut, would have cleaned it up a little bit more and had a better finished product, but it looks amazing still.
All right, great job to the Tulsa location. Let's show the cameras, flip this up for us, and then we're gonna bring up our next contestants and see their project. Team number 2, Team RSI, bring it on in. I personally am in love with this because it looks like a bull that I spurred just this very last weekend. Talk to us, were you guys at all nervous about the time frame for finishing your project?
The first, 15 minutes we were, but as soon as we got into it, Mario on the torch is super fast. So once we were past that 15 minutes, I was super confident the whole way through, and we were done about 10 minutes before and used the last bit of time just to clean everything up and make it prettier.
I think it speaks for itself. It's beautiful and I love it. It's really clean. The welds on the sides there are nice and sound. Real nice, guys.
I'm a big fan of this project too. Technically speaking, there's a lot of cuts and bends, a lot of welds. There's a lot of depth to this project. But they used a lot of other fabrication tools. They set up some jigs so that they could make these bends and make them look good. They drew their whole head on the table and were checking everything as they were going along. And so just overall, I think they just did a really good job.
Talk to us about your theme for the day.
Our theme is Rebar Cowboy.
Rebar Cowboy. That is interesting.
My family has a cattle ranch and I like rebar, so.
But you're also a YouTuber.
I am.
Great job all the way around, guys. We're going to let you take this back to your station. We're gonna check out the next team out of Houston. Our team number 3, we've got Houston bringing their outdoor wall decor. Show the cameras what we've got, a little bit of some scenery going on. Now, lean it back and tell me your theme.
Well, we were talking it over in the beginning, and my partner Mark, he really likes romance novels, and he likes, he likes going to the beach, so he said, you know what, I want to bring that out on my project, and I want that lighthouse. That's where I met my first girlfriend, so we're gonna go ahead and let's redo that scenery.
Those good old days, the good old days.
We used a lot of different techniques here, different material, whatever we could find.
This is a lighthouse right here. I see the light coming off of it. You've got some clouds, the sun. Is that the reflection?
That is the reflection
of it into the water? That's cool. I'm pretty smart, so I noticed that. I'm not gonna lie, I did not think you guys were gonna finish.
But there's still some more things that we wanted to do, but for the amount of work that we gave ourselves and the limited time, it was just, the best we could do.
Should have been illuminated as well through the back was what we had planned.
Yeah, you guys don't provide LED strips.
Maybe some LEDs.
Maybe some paint on it.
Yeah, when I was watching him work, I was a little nervous for him, just, with warping the metal with that flame, but I think it ended up turning out real good, kind of gave it some texture and character with the finished product and didn't really warp too bad.
I think anybody that is familiar with oxy-fuel can agree that when you're cutting sheet metal, it's a big challenge, right? You're always gonna have that heat and it warps. In this case, I think it added some depth to this. I kind of like it. I like how, especially on the water, it kind of comes up and down. That's what you would see on the water.
Right.
I think it came together. I know you guys were kind of right up to the end, pushing everything down, tacking everything down. But I think the project turned out very good.
And that's the thing with art. Even if you do mess something up, you can just call it abstract.
It's abstract.
Right? Great job, Houston. We do not have a problem, like I thought. You finished in time. Good job, guys. Fourth and final team is gonna bring up their project. They seem to be the most on time, in my opinion. If I am not mistaken, this looks like the sun to me.
Yeah, so our theme for the day is summer, like a perfect summer day. And so we wanted to add some depth. A sun hanging on the side of a house is a fairly common thing. We wanted to take a unique spin on it with that handcrafted metal look, and we really focused a lot on some of the finishing work.
What are you thinking, Case?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking it turned out pretty good, man.
Is this what you envisioned?
Yes.
Did you feel any pressure from the clock?
Right there, like the last 10 seconds. I was like, oh my goodness, this is going by pretty quick.
That's when you started to worry.
Yeah.
The last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I like the depth of it. Instead of using oxy fuel, they went with a hand grinder and a cutting wheel, and that takes a lot of time, especially if you're doing curves and stuff like that. So I think you guys did a really good job there. There's a couple little hangers left that I would like to have seen taken care of, but overall I think you did a great job.
I like what you guys did not using the flame to cut this. I know it took a little bit longer, but you know, I think that it really turned out good.
Yeah, we were worried about the heat
warping it and everything. Yeah.
So that's why we decided to cut it out by hand.
We're on to the next one, old son. Thanks for watching this first episode of Tulsa Welding School's Top Welder. We're gonna gather up some points, get some judges, eyeballs on these, and find out who the winner is. Drum roll, please. Your overall winner for the first round of the Tulsa Welding School's Top Welder is Phoenix, Team RSI. Their overall presentation was off the charts. The technical skills, they got everything done, and their creativity.
So I really like this project for multiple reasons. Their overall presentation, again, just like Dale said, they nailed it. Super clean, but technically speaking, as they were building it, you know, they used jigs. They had all these cuts, and of all the projects, it had the most welding, and the welding was the best. So overall, I think they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about this is that each horn on this piece is so symmetrical to each other. It just really brings it all together, makes it a really nice piece.
Wouldn't you know it, the other three teams tied for second. We did each of the scores individually, and it just worked out that they're all three tied for second. It's gonna be a tight race all the way to the end. Thanks for watching this first episode of Tulsa Welding School's Top Welder, and look out because it's a tight race for who's gonna win that Miller Thunderbolt 160.